Once upon a time, in a faraway place, in the world of code and algorithms, I was a software developer with a unique mission. Whilst there were many brilliant developers who excelled in crafting magnificent systems, there was a glaring gap that troubled me deeply. They couldn't communicate with anything outside of their own domains. It was as if they spoke different languages and the digital realm was a Tower of Babel. That's when I found my calling, to bridge the gap, to bridge the communication gap. My job was to get heterogeneous, which means different computer systems to talk with each other. It was like playing the role of a universal translator in the world of technology. I delved into the intricacies of connecting systems that spoke different languages and run on various platforms and operated under different protocols. In the realm of programming, I was the bridge, the mediator who could make data flow seamlessly from one system to another. It wasn't easy, but I thrived on solving these complex puzzles. It was a fascinating journey into the world of technology. However, deep down, I always realized that if I could fix the limitations in software and computer systems, that I might just be able to use similar techniques to fix the flawed programming in my own mind. Have you ever cared about someone so much you really want to help and then ended up losing yourself? I met this girl I'd seen a few times before, and we started dating. Her name was Jenny. She was so beautiful. She had lovely shoulder-length blonde hair, an hourglass figure, and the most beautiful blue eyes. But her eyes told a really sad story, and she told me she was being made homeless. So one thing led to another, and before I knew it, she'd already moved in. It was one of those situations you end up in without really planning. And you end up wondering, how did this happen? It's like you're not really sure whether you can see yourself being pulled towards this person from the outside or whether you can feel yourself being drawn from the inside, but you know it's happening. And no matter how hard you try, you just can't stop thinking about it. It's almost as if you've been there before. Have you ever had anything like that happen to you? Let's just say that after she moved in, the next 3 years were a complete disaster. And yet something really quite beautiful happened. On my 30th birthday, my mother gave me a card with a message that was quite profound. Have you ever had a dream that you felt sure was real? What if you were unable to wake up from the dream? How would you know the difference between the dream and the real world? And if you knew you were already in a dream, what would it be like if you could change that dream? Welcome to the world of expansive communication. And then I opened the birthday card my mother had left, and I read her words. She said, "Impossibilities are fuel to a dreamer." And unlike me, as well as being incredibly beautiful, she was a very smart woman, because she realized that everything we experience begins as a dream from very deep within your mind. It all begins with your imagination. And suddenly, 3 years after Jenny moved in, there I was again, all alone. The love of my life had gone. There I was, sat on the floor with an empty heart, an empty home, and an empty bank account, with a bottle of scotch in one hand and a pile of bills on the floor next to me. That was the turning point for me. I was broken. What I discovered was that the best thing about being broken is that you can put yourself back together. You can build back better. You're the one who decides how to put yourself back together, how to reassemble the structure of your life. You're the one who decides which pieces you're going to keep. More importantly, which pieces you're going to leave behind. And as you put those pieces of your life back together, you can create something really quite special, something way more beautiful than the life you left behind. And the quest for understanding the intricacies of human thought and communication began to consume me. This curiosity led me to the world of neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, and the transformative power of expansive communication. Expansive communication wasn't just a methodology, it was a philosophy that allowed me to navigate complex landscapes of human interaction. I learned that much like debugging lines of code, I could help people debug their limiting beliefs and reprogram their minds for success. NLP became my toolkit for understanding the deep structure of thought, belief, behaviors, and just as I'd mastered the intricacies of computer languages, my role transitioned from fixing software bugs to helping individuals fix the flawed programming in their minds. I had found my calling in guiding people towards profound transformations. Much like I guided computer systems to harmonious conversations, it was a journey from the technical world of code to a warm embrace of human connection. And I couldn't be more passionate about it. Today, I blend the wisdom of technology with the power of expansive communication to empower others to communicate effectively, whether it's between computer systems or within their own minds. It's a journey of transformation where the limitations of software and thought give way to boundless possibilities.